Much attention, the Rizal King Francis James was chosen as ambassador on special mission to participate in Colombia's hearing before the International Court of Justice.
Through Decree 1075 of September 10 of 2021, by which a commission of service is authorized, the President of the Republic of Colombia has determined to appoint the Rizal and a member of the Rizal team, Ken Francis James, as ambassador in special mission to be part of the group of defense before the International Court of Justice in The Hague. Francis James from The Hague said through a telephone call that he will represent the interests of the Rizal people in the use of the sea.
Yes, we're already here in The Hague, joining with the Colombian team with international attorneys and national support, the agent and the co-agents. And it's a great opportunity for us from the Rizal team, which I am representing now, to express to them all our interest in protect our Rizal rights in the use of the sea around the archipelago, and to defend the Colombian interests before the demand that have been presented by Nicaragua. I think Representative Elizabeth have done a great job, and other people also have been very active in supporting this presence of at least one of us here. So we will do our best job to come to the best results in protecting our native rights.
It is to remember that these hearings will begin on September 29 to culminate the 1st of October. Hearings where Colombia and country will defend itself against two lawsuits issued by the neighboring country of Nicaragua.
In East Southeast Key, today was the opening of the Caribe Respira, or Caribbean Breeze Voyage, an initiative that seeks to collect plastic waste thrown into the sea and thus contribute to cleaner seas.
The commander of CECIP, Hernando Matos, accompanied the director of Coralina, Arne Britton, and the secretary of Agriculture and Fisheries, Randy Manuel, and opened the Caribe Respira cruise for East Southeast Key.
Nos encontramos recibiendo la travesía.
We are receiving the Caribe Respira voyage, which is nothing more than an excellent initiative. The intention of this campaign is to generate awareness regarding the damage that plastic does to the marine environment. We are here with the young people for the island. We are with the fishermen, with the Rizal community, who are helping us in East Southeast Key, fishermen, to collect all this material that has arrived from the mainland and others that have been generated by the use of the island by visitors.
The cleaning activities within the framework of the Caribbean Breeze Voyage will also be extended to the beaches of San Andres and Providence until September 22nd. The director of the Coralina Corporation, as well as the Secretary of Agriculture and Fisheries, highlighted the importance of keeping the marine ecosystem clean.
Limpiando, haciendo una campaña de limpieza.
Cleaning, doing a cleaning campaign and oxygenating the marine ecosystem. This generates any benefit to the ecosystem.
Cuidando nuestro ecosistema, la verdad, pues los plásticos.
Taking care of our ecosystem, the truth, the plastics, what the Caribbean Sea generates, what we generate as archipelago, as visitors of these seas. We need to have our ecosystem clean.
During the day, they collected plastic items, refrigerators, glass bottles, cans, cardboard, PVC pipes, among other items that affect the beaches of East Southeast Key.
The Departmental State Social Enterprise released figures on the progress of the national vaccination plan in the department and how many people have been immunized so far.
A decrease in the number of coronavirus infections has been recorded in recent months in the department, a situation that is attributed by the authorities to the massive vaccination against COVID-19 in the island. The immunization coordinator of the State Social Enterprise, Jokoama J, gives an assessment of the different stages of vaccination.
To date, we have immunized or vaccinated 147 pregnant women with the first dose, and approximately 140 have completed their vaccination schedule. We invite those pregnant women who have not yet completed their scheme with the second dose to come to our vaccination points to achieve immunity and complete the scheme with the first and second dose. We have vaccinated 54 young people with comorbidities, and as for young people without comorbidities, we have already vaccinated more than 670 to date. These are young people between 12 and 17 years of age without any type of comorbidity.
The authorities invite all citizens to complete their vaccination schedule against COVID-19, taking into account that the variants that have been presented in the country and being the archipelago a touristic destination of preference for national and foreign.
And less than an hour before the end of the vacunathon carried out in order to achieve the immunization on the island's population against COVID-19, the number of people vaccinated was announced, which is a satisfactory figure.
With a 26-hour campaign as planned, on its second day the vacunathon culminated, with which Fernandez continued its progress in the application of vaccines against COVID-19, with the aim that all islanders complete their vaccination schedule.
El día de hoy siendo el último día de nuestro vacunatón.
Today, being the last day of vaccinathon against COVID-19 for the islands, the movement has been slower. Yesterday, the final consolidated result was 698 people vaccinated in total. Today, in the first session, we vaccinated 316 people. And so far during the night, we have 126 people, and all of them are adults vaccinated with Sinovac and AstraZeneca.
According to the coordinator of the activity, a little less than an hour before the end of the vacunathon, the result is positive.
Yo me siento muy satisfecha porque realmente
I feel very satisfied with what we have really achieved. Although we have not reached the goal, we are making progress towards it. The goal is that all those people who have received their first dose complete their vaccination schedule.
The authorities and health institutions in the island are planning to carry out similar campaigns in order to continue motivating citizens to get vaccinated against COVID-19.
In our department, it is already possible to process digital ID cards, and there are already machines that help with the agility of the time of processing identity documents.
The departmental delegate of the registry knows that there are already specialized machines for the production of the ID cards that will improve the service on the island, as well as the digital ID issuance service.
Ese proceso va muy bien. El señor registrador nacional del Estado.
The National Registrar has managed to get all his team and all the technical team to develop the digital ID card with a great level of success. And this moment, we managed to have the 6, which are very specialized machines in which we can already have a service station that makes us able to develop the digital ID card here.
This machine is also located in the municipality of Providence, which makes this process much more faster.
Eso hace que la cédula pueda ser tramitada indudablemente.
That makes that the ID card can be processed undoubtedly. It facilitates the service and it is very simple. Now they can pay in any of the following: Efecti, Banco Popular, Superheroes, and only with the ID card number. The person makes the procedure, and 24 hours after the payment, it is reflected and must be entered and scheduled on the page of the registry, www.registraduria.gov.co. And then there on that page, the procedure is done either in Providence or San Andres Registry.
These machines are programmed to make very good quality certificates and in a record time. Previously, the processing of a certificate ID will take approximately 2 years. This time it can take up to 3 months.
And now we'll continue with all the news of our municipality of Providence and Santa Catalina with Millicent O'Neill.
Good evening to all our viewers. This is the most relevant information from all Providence and Catalina. Remodeling work begins on the AMOS Duffs baseball stadium in the sector of Old Town. More details with Dean.
With the enclosure of a section of the AMOS Duffs baseball stadium, the reconstruction and remodeling of this structure damaged by Hurricane Iota has begun. The next step is the dismantling of what remains of the roof of the sports arena.
We are going to dismantle the roof, the structure. We are going to do some demolition work inside the stadium to remodel the entire structure of the bleachers.
The sports arena will continue with the same dimensions since it complies with the required guidelines.
Va a ser diferente. It is going to be different in that we are going to implement materials and a type of roofing that will withstand higher winds than what happened last year. That will withstand that type of breeze so that this type of disaster will not happen again on the roof. The stadium as such is not going to move, neither to get bigger, nor to get smaller, because it meets the conditions.
Finally, the softball stadium in Mountain will also be reconstructed.
We are doing the preliminary studies with which we are going to implement what are the things that are going to be done. We are waiting for the designs so that we can share the information with the community, and they are aware of the whole project that is going to be done. Therefore, we are in a preliminary phase to intervene in the softball stadium.
And in other news, the first preparatory meeting for youth councillor candidates was held recently.
At the end of this year, the 7 municipal youth councillors will be elected. They will choose, monitor, and exercise public control on behalf of the youth of the municipality. The candidates met in a first preparatory meeting for the future elections.
It's a meeting that we gather the candidates that are going to be elected as municipal youth council, to hear them expectative, to hear what is the proposal, and for them to clear up points maybe what they don't have clear in the moment, so that we can develop a process with them to prepare them for this very important moment that coming.
The following step is an accompaniment and training for these young candidates.
We're going to train them in a last 1622, which is the last of the young people. We're going to train them in some leadership. I'm going to prepare them in different tips that they can, when they be elected, they can do a great real job for the young people in Providence.
Finally, some of the candidates took the opportunity to share the vision of their candidacy.
My proposal, first of all, is going to be in the area of sports, to encourage and motivate young people to participate not only in sports, but also in different activities.
Una oportunidad para darle voz a los jóvenes.
An opportunity to give young people a voice, and also that they may have a way to recreate, to express themselves and make their interests known.
Las propuestas de nuestra lista.
The proposals on our list are based on the mental and sexual health of young people on the island of Old Providence.
Elections will be held on the 5th of November.
On the other hand, the shipment of compacted scrap to be taken from the municipality to Cartagena has already begun to be loaded.
Approximately 2,064 cubes of compacted scrap metal will be removed from the island in one of the barges, in which 750 tons of material for the reconstruction were brought in. The first trip will take about 1,000 cubes, weighing between 290 and 300 kilos each. This first trip will have a cargo of between 380 and 400 tons that will be transported to the city of Cartagena. The operation of land and sea transportation plus the lifting of the cargo is being carried out in its entirety by the National Unit for Risk Management. The final disposition of the elements that remain after the transportation of the cubes will be agreed between the Mayor's Office and the National Unit for Risk Management. The barge will be leaving this Saturday and returning for a second trip in approximately 20 days.
This is all the information we have for tonight for the section of Old Providence and Catalina. You guys can continue with more Teleislas news. Good night.
Thank you, Millie. Now we continue with the weather forecast. The weather forecast for tomorrow, September 16. In the coastal area of Archipelago, the sky will be with scattered storms. Temperature will be of 29 degrees Celsius, winds from the northeast direction, with intensities of 16 kilometers per hour. Humidity forecast will be of 77%, and probability of precipitation will be of 30%.